Welcome back to another episode of Love Living Local 315 with your hosts, Scott and Kelly Greats. We love to celebrate the incredible people, places, and events that make Central New York such an amazing community. And today we're excited to have Sean Mott and Kevin Fox from the band Career Mode. They're a 6-piece pop, punk, and emo cover band that brings high energy vibes to every show that they play. They've got influences from the iconic Tony Hawk Pro Skater soundtracks and a mission to make every performance a party. Career Mode rocks the local music scene, and today we're going to dive deeper into their upcoming shows, their stories, and why they love performing right here in Central New York. All right. I love having on musicians, creatives. The conversations just go so much smoother when you can make stuff up on the fly. Not that I'm saying you're going to.
We will.
Or putting undue pressure on you. But we're here with Sean Mott and Kevin Fox of the band Career Mode. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having us.
All right. So tell us a little bit about Career Mode. What should the audience know?
So we're a cover band. We've been doing it for almost 3 years. We've all been in other projects, originals, other cover bands. And I think we all kind of swore off being in full bands just because of frustrations of other things that didn't work out, dealing with personalities internally. And, but I think certain people have this kind of like ingrained in their DNA and they just can't walk away from it. So eventually, you get the itch and you call your buddies and you jam in the basement. And then what was only supposed to be like a one-time thing or just kind of like a casual come over, have some beers and jam, just kind of snowballed and grew into this, 3 years later, we're still doing it and, just picking up speed, every day. So,
yeah, awesome. Talk to me about the difference between being a cover band. So you called yourself a cover band, right? And performing your own music. Like what goes into that decision-making process?
So it's different for sure. I mean, Sean's done original bands too. Sean's done European tours and stuff. When my cover band was a little bit different, I was doing like pop covers around the area. But what we landed on is we enjoy so much of the cover band stuff is like you learn songs that you think other people want to hear. So that, like you go to a bar or a club and you play like the top 40. And so we got sick of doing that. But we're all metalheads. And so, again, back to what I was saying, it kind of started in the basement just to jam and play songs that we love. So we were like, well, let's just learn songs that we like. And that was kind of like the selection process. So, everyone's very engaged. Everyone's really excited about what we're doing. And that's really what kind of transcends and sets us apart from a lot of the other cover bands in that sense.
How many liberties do you take? So is there your version? Because I love a different version of a cover song. Oh. It's one of my favorites. So talk to me about the liberties.
Like a mix of both.
Yeah.
Okay. There's some songs we'll kind of play straight up. Our drummer is also kind of a psychopath in a good way. Where he'll add his own things anyway. And there's definitely stuff we'll play around, but we have like a recorded version of a Taylor Swift song that's completely it's like a pop punk version of a Taylor Swift song. And we're currently working on like an EP of older songs, like classic rock songs that we're making like our own. We have one that we've been playing live that's of Everlong by Foo Fighters, except we just put our own spin on it. Some of it does sound like it starts off the same and then it kind of evolves into something that's definitely different than the original. So it's definitely both. We do both. For some of the songs where it's like, they're surefire bangers. We just keep them.
You keep it. Why try to fix what's not broken? Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's a big thing that's different between most cover bands too, is that obviously the emo nights and stuff like that, nostalgia is such a big thing nowadays. It's like everyone's trying to reach that nostalgia high. And there's two ways of doing it. There's one where it's like people are just trying to do it to be in that thing, or there's people that are doing it because it's like, oh, we grew up on this stuff. We love it and we want to celebrate it. And that's the stuff that always seems to kind of keep going because it's not just like, oh, hey, we're doing this to do it.
Right.
And the emo night things are cool. I've been to a bunch of them, but it's like they kind of miss that life. And then we kind of take that energy though and give it back to the people that are doing it.
So you got to talk to the old guy in the room.
He has no idea what you're talking about.
Okay. So emo night is what?
So bands like Fall Out Boy. Do you know Fall Out Boy?
Sure. Yeah.
Yes,
My Chemical Romance. Yeah. Those bands. We do that's emo night. It's like a weird thing because some people be like, that's not really emo music, whatever, who cares? But emo nights, they do that. They play those bands that were they're still popular now, but they kind of play their older stuff.
It's the equivalent for we're like a modern day hair metal band. What would have been, say, 20 years ago. Like if someone was doing like a hair metal project 20 years ago, it would have been like that resurgence, that nostalgia.
Yeah.
But like, so we're in our mid 30s. These are the songs that we grew up with when we were in like our early teens.
Okay.
I love that you're taking music from different genres and bringing it into yours. Like that's awesome that you're taking Taylor Swift and like other music and you're putting your own spin on it because that's going to draw in other people that might not even think that they would enjoy your music.
Right.
So that's awesome. Talk to me about the name of the band. Where did that come from?
So it's a little on the nose, actually. Pretty much everyone that started the band was a big fan of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 or the Tony Hawk Pro Skater franchise. And that was for most of us, like when we discovered that, I keep hearing these songs on repeat as I play the game. I love them. And we kind of learned that like, we don't just like music, but like there's something more to it. And so like that's kind of when we learned that we love music. We wanted to maybe do music. And it kind of really helped me focus on like the kind that I liked and what I didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, those games are just like, they're very known for having like incredible soundtracks. Like, like every song is like, wow, this one's cool. So it was a huge exposure for a lot of kids to discover new music and then kind of like learn to love it. So when we originally started off, we wanted to be just exclusively a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 soundtrack cover band. And then it kind of grew in other things. But in the game, there's a thing called like career mode. And like you pick a skater, you go through the game and you do all the objectives and the levels and whatever. And so that's kind of like where that came from.
Okay.
Cool.
I never would have guessed that.
Me neither. That's why I asked the question. I think that's awesome.
We have like kind of a few logos we use, but one of the logos is just straight up a Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Okay.
All right.
No copyright. We're good with infringements there. Okay.
Those things don't happen as much as you think. It's like this crazy thing. They're like, oh, if you do like a Disney rip, they're like, is Disney coming out? I'm like, Disney doesn't care. They got bigger fish to fry.
They definitely do. Yeah.
It's fine. We'll be okay.
So you mentioned that your shows are like a party where everyone's invited. So talk to us a little bit about the vibe, the atmosphere, the types of crowds, the types of people. Like, is it a wide range or do you have a specific demographic that likes to follow you guys around?
I would say it's a pretty wide range. It's kind of wild how I always talk about this band like it's an anomaly because our shows always do really well and they're always super energetic. And there's a lot of people that come like every show, which is insane to me. But there's always times where it's like, I have never seen that person. Cool. That's awesome. And the biggest thing is like, we want to make it feel like it's a normal show. And like the shows we grew up on are shows that are just like full of energy. Everyone's singing along, like people are grabbing the mic,
crowd surfing,
on stage,
jumping on off each other.
Yeah.
Like
awesome.
We encourage the chaos.
Okay.
And
which I'm sure the facilities really enjoy, right?
Some do, some do not, But yeah, that's kind of like the vibe is it's very inclusive and we encourage participation. It's like the crowd is every bit as much of the show as the performers. And so, it's like we're in our 30s. So, it's like we're trying to recreate like what we grew up on, like the Vans Warped Tour or, make every show different and unique. So it's still interesting to get the repeat fans to be like, wow, this one was cool. Wow, this one was cool. Like they don't get tired of it. And, you leave and you have a great time. And the next day you're on your couch slamming Pedialyte, stretching, there's not enough Advil in the world. Yeah. Because, then I was so crazy and everyone's like, oh man, I feel awful, but man, that was so cool. Yeah. and that's kind of like what we're going for.
We've done that without being in a band.
Come to one of our shows and you'll understand,
100%.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I feel
Scott.
like I do understand.
Let's talk a little bit about the members. Why don't you tell us how many people you have in the band, their names, what they play, their roles?
You want to start off with you?
Yeah. So Sean, I play guitar. Do some background vocals and stuff. And we also have Kevin's here, plays the bass, also does some background vocals too. And then we have Rob, who also plays guitar, does background vocals. Then we have two singers now, Justin Parker and Brian Lucenti. They both sing. There's a lot of vocal parts. People are like, two singers? That's crazy.
Yeah.
But there's so many vocal parts and our sets are like 3 hours long.
Okay.
So it's a lot.
3 hours, no breaks.
Yeah.
Is there friction there? Like, does that get weird with two singers?
No.
Like, okay.
Not really.
Cool.
They work together and they like figure out what parts they're going to do, how they're going to trade off, what they're going to harmonize with. And then I talked about our drummer a little while, but Sal, He is the madman behind the kit and
the sociopath.
The drummers are
and a good
always,
psychopath.
I'm sorry.
very unique.
Definitely not a sociopath.
Shit, now he's coming after me.
The drummers are always very unique. I love the drummers.
There's a different kind of brain chemistry.
I think so, too.
Drummers are like their own breed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like,
for sure.
It's hard.
Sort of like relief pitchers. We've had that conversation.
Yeah, they're just different.
Yeah, they are.
No, I haven't met your drummer, but I don't know if I've ever seen a drummer that's overweight. Have you guys are in the music?
I've seen it.
Have you? Yeah.
And it kind of blows my mind. I'm like,
Because
how
I mean, they are just like 3 hours of straight cardio. I mean,
Yeah.
not that you guys don't work, but the drummer is working like nonstop,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's
full body.
Yeah,
Full
right.
time.
Full body.
Yeah.
Feet are moving, arms are in the air, which is hard for the core, but
I have seen some overweight ones, and it kind of does blow my mind because a lot of them are so fast, and I'm like, how? How does this work?
Yeah, how do you
Yeah.
keep
But it
up?
does. It's crazy. Yeah.
You guys talk, so I'm getting this picture of you're talking hair metal, you're talking crowd surfing. So this is your traditional like stuff we would see at, like I said, Horde Tour, Lollapalooza, right? I've been to a bunch of Metallica shows, right? I mean, this is what I'm picturing. But then you're also talking Taylor Swift, right? You're talking about a pop kind of funk vibe. So you guys you're all over the place, right? And it's a unique sound in a good way, right? Yeah. And I just went on YouTube, and I apologize, I don't know what song I was listening to, but it almost had like a Bare Naked Ladies feel to the song I was listening to. I don't know if you ever heard that before, but
It might have been like the Superman cover or something.
I think it was actually.
Yeah,
Yes,
like,
now
it
you
does
say
have
that.
kind of a Bare Naked vibe.
yeah.
Which we love.
We love Bare Naked Ladies, yeah.
But yeah, just to kind of that fun jam, edgy, but still with the pop. I don't know how to describe it. It's a
they're
unique
kind of like
sound.
they're like a punk band, but it's mostly kind of in like that ska realm, which is like punk with
Horns.
Yeah, that's basically what ska is.
That came out of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
one.
One of them.
One.
Yeah, one.
And, it's like, it's funny. There was an interview with Goldfinger, who's that band. And they were like, yeah, we were touring real hard for years. And there was, we made some progress here and there, but it was slow moving. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater came out and everyone heard that song. We did Superman. We played that song at the club and the room exploded.
Yeah.
And it was directly correlated with the video game. And so, when we do those kind of games, everyone's like, oh my God, I never thought I would see a band play Superman live. And like, you guys kill it because, we're energetic about it. We're enthusiastic. We were like, oh, there's that horn part that no one's doing. And I can say that because I like every single instrument is going on is ingrained in my 14-year-old brain,
Yeah.
And so like, we try to figure out how to make those things work because obviously we don't have 3 different horn players. And so, yeah, it's kind of all over the place, but it hits on the nostalgia strings. It hits on like a modern day thing. And, it's very exciting.
Yeah.
When we play some stuff like Rancid and people are like, oh my God, I never thought I would see someone do a Rancid song live. Unless I went to California, they don't tour anymore or anything. So it hits a lot of different like boxes
I love it.
for people.
And good energy. You guys are in the crowd. I'm guessing that was one of the singers, right? It was in the crowd singing.
I might have been Sean.
also
might have been you. Okay, yeah. So
Most of the guitar players have wireless systems. So, there's like one song, you just look around and you're like, where is everybody?
No, awesome.
So let's talk about your upcoming show on September 21st at the FX Max 1888 Beer Garden.
The beer garden.
Yes.
It's a lot of words leading up to this. It's at the beer garden.
Yeah.
What can fans expect from the performance? Have you performed here before?
No.
Not with this band. But yeah, the beer garden's a really cool place.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of open space. The outdoor shows are more fun, I think, because you're outside. It's if the weather's good. If the weather's bad,
Let's not go there. It's going to be nice.
It's going to be nice.
I just got the forecast for September 21st. It's like beautiful.
Sunshine.
Sunny,
Yep.
just low humidity,
It's
no
always a
rain.
gamble.
No rain. Tell, what's his name from KTV? Who's the weather guy?
I
Bill
have no
Curtis. There. You don't even have to watch Bill Curtis. I gave you the forecast.
The
Perfect.
thing about shows there, though, is usually the band is kind of what I like to call background music. You see it at like bars and stuff like that.
It's kind of atmospheric. Like you're there, you're existing kind of in the same place.
You're not like
and
watching the band.
You're not part of the band.
We're very much the opposite of that
Right.
kind of band. So I love going into these types of scenarios and totally uprooting what they're used to.
Kind of turning it on its head.
That's my favorite thing.
We're going to be like, we need you to move all the picnic tables. No one's sitting down. Like everyone's going to be up front, getting weird.
Yeah.
Because that's the fun is like, the chaos being involved and, bumping into each other.
Yeah.
It'll be our first show with Justin Parker back. Our first full show anyways. He's done a couple fill-ins here and there, but is the full-time singer back in the band. This will be his first one from start to finish. So that'll be exciting. We got a couple new songs. We're always throwing new songs in the mix. But yeah, you'll get your standard career mode, high energy, jumping around, jumping off stuff. When it's a brewery, it just kind of excites people and encourages a little bit more of a party behavior because
it only makes sense. Tickets? Is this a ticketed
free.
event? It is free. Okay.
Yes.
all ages free. No reason not to come. Good weather.
Yeah, good weather, no money.
And we don't
beer.
play Utica proper a lot. Usually only a few times a year. We play Syracuse a lot. We play the Gig, which is, it's still 10 minutes away. So it's not in
halfway.
Utica. So it's nice when we get to play. And it's kind of weird because it's hard for us to like find places where it makes sense for us to play.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's like the stage vibe is off or something, because we don't want to play this like big stage and be so disconnected with people and stuff. That kind of defeats the purpose unless it's some like massive show or something. But yeah, so it's nice to. I'm stoked to see how it goes. And if you want to see an awesome video of Justin preparing for the show,
you can check out our socials. Our Instagram right now is it's pretty funny. I mean, like he hits all the boxes of like it's like we don't take ourselves very seriously. You know, it's like we do a lot of stuff that's kind of like self-serving, but it's like goofy. It's fun. Yeah. There's not like this like it has to be note for note exactly perfect, or like we're gonna talk about this later. Right. It's like. Wow, you beefed that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
What, since we're talking socials, where can people find you? How do they connect with you on social?
So the Instagram is career mode 315, and I think the Facebook is also.
Okay.
So
we'll make sure Spino links that. Make him do some work over there in the show notes, and we'll see if we can find that video of Kevin as well.
It's great.
How many shows a year are you guys doing on average?
We just do one a month.
Okay. Yeah. Sometimes two.
Yeah.
We try to spread them out so that it doesn't get overwhelming. I think a lot of bands, it's an event. And everyone's different. So we got to prepare for it, rework the set list. And I think a lot of bands kind of undercut themselves by, taking every gig they can get. And so, it's like, oh, well, this band's playing, this band's playing, and this band's playing. They play every week. I'll just go to the other one. Or like, oh, I'm kind of tired. I'm not going out tonight. But we only, play Utica once every 3 or 4 months. So it's like, this is it.
It's such a good point. And he's a good friend of ours, so we'll call him out. But we had Justin Smithson in here yesterday from Showtime and other things. And we kind of run into that too. We love Justin, but Justin will play with Sean Smith. He'll play solo. He'll play with trio, Showtime, the band, Showtime, the trio, right? Justin's playing like every night. And so there'll be like a Saturday where it's like, hey, let's go see Justin. And then someone will come and we're like, well, we can just catch him on Monday at Fratello's. Where what you guys are doing is like you said, it's an event. It's something people can plan around, and it makes it a little more special. Yeah.
And we do a lot of like themed stuff sometimes. Like we did a Star Wars show. Yeah. Because it was like right on May the 4th. So we did like a Star Wars show. We've done Valentine's Day shows. Ugly Christmas sweater shows.
What makes it a Valentine's Day show?
It happens near Valentine's Day.
I didn't know.
They usually have a tagline like "Love Bites" or like "Love Sucks" or
that's great.
It's like each show. Like we find that like if you make a shtick to go along with
people
the
like
party,
it's marketing.
It's like one more thing to dip into, and people can be a little bit more involved. I think in like the preparation for it, so that it's a thing. It only happens once in a while. It's a thing, it's not just show up. They're like, oh, I've heard you guys play Matchbox 20, like every other band forever. Right. It's like, there's none of that. It's like every show's different.
Yeah. It's 3 a.m. I must be lonely. I mean, I just hear that puke, right? So you put on your press release that there are 2 unannounced shows coming up, but now I feel like, are we announcing them?
We can.
Okay. I didn't know if that was like top secret.
No, it's not. That's why I put it there for a reason.
Okay. That's what I thought. But then you also said like not announced. So here we go. We got a big announcement. So November 8th, the show is going to be at the Gig, which is at Turning Stone. Yes. And then December 6th, Ugly Sweater Show. Yes. Pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, that's a song and dance in Syracuse.
And that's in Syracuse.
It's we did it last year too, and it's going to be like a donation type show, and all the money is going to go towards the name of the place escapes me, but it's I
think it's Joni.
Yeah, it's like a school. It's like a school for special needs children.
Okay,
so and it's in a Syracuse school, so it's like a local show that's going right back into the community.
Awesome,
which is nice.
Nice, memorable or funny story from one of your past shows.
Oh man, you got a good one.
I'm sure you got a few.
The zoo was weird.
I wasn't there for the zoo.
That might be the quote. We might have to like.
The zoo is weird.
Let's extract that. Let's extract that and make that the opener to this one. The zoo's weird. If you have any poo, now would be the time to fling it.
I had a GoPro set up, and it was like a kind of like a bird's eye view, and it's coming down at the band, and there's this like funny little clip of like our at time singer Gary just like whoop, his feet come out from under him, and he just like he bops it on the ground.
Which zoo are we at?
Utica Zoo.
Utica Zoo. Okay.
There's been a lot of times of the singers of the band totally beefing it. Whether they wind up in the crowd or it's just on stage.
You said beefing it twice. So again, help me out with terminology
just like
here.
Falling.
Legit falling. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a lot of cables and water or beers on the floor, trip and There was one of my favorite
back
memories.
in my day, beef was different. One
of my favorite memories is we were playing at the Turning Stone. And I was doing my thing, like headbanging. And when you're doing that, like your hair's in your face and you're just kind of staring at your feet. Like that's like your perspective. And then like I stop for a second, I turn around and I look back at the stage. There's like 6 people on stage. None of them are the people in the band. And I'm just like, where is everyone? And it's just like, because like the crowd got excited. Everyone got up on stage and like the band was just like.
I think I went and sat in one of the sofas and played.
Yeah, he's sitting on a couch and playing his guitar. The singers are like in the crowd somewhere, and I'm just like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah. Worry about like equipment and stuff. Like this stuff get like really crazy.
I've never broken more gear in all of my
mine's been fine.
15 years of playing music.
Sounds like, I'm good.
This band is what can break has been breaking. It's just because it's put a lot of stress on everything.
A lot of beefing.
So much beefing, actually.
We went out to Buffalo for a gig, and Sean wound up at a hotel at a magician's convention.
Oh my gosh.
We walked in, there's literally a magician's
Did you disappear or get sawed in half?
Neither. It was kind of depressing. Also, I'm going to tell this story.
You should have went with it.
The guy, what did the guy say? The sound guy. The sound guy said some really weird stuff.
Oh, he had a pistol.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is what he said. And I could not believe when he said it. He's like, yeah, like people normally just go in their backyard and shoot off guns to blow off steam. And I'm like, who? Where? Who does that? What are you talking about? What do you mean? Normal people. Who does that?
Yeah. We stayed at this like crazy hotel. We didn't unfortunately get the one with the magician convention going on. Bro. But it was like the elevator, the car didn't exist. So it's just like this big hole. Like you open the doors and just a drop off, and we're like, oh, okay, that's scary. None of the doors had numbers on them. It was just like tapes. Like it was like a piece of paper.
Where did you stay?
What city was this? Buffalo?
La Quinta.
This is in Buffalo?
Yeah.
It was a La Quinta?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Without numbers?
Yeah.
I don't think it was La Quinta.
It was.
I think
you dreamt this.
Someone named Quinta might have owned the joint.
There was
it was a Quinta.
There was a rock hard slice of pizza in the microwave.
Oh my God! Don't go to this place,
dude.
We accidentally clogged 2 toilets. Somebody threw up in the shower. Rob.
Well, it seems like you're at the right place at least.
Yeah, right. We didn't feel bad about it.
They fit right in.
Rob and Brian kicked in our door. They didn't really kick it in. Like it just apparently the doors didn't like close or lock. So it was like 3 a.m. and they just like bust in. Brian's got a gallon of milk and Rob's got like a pizza in his hand. They're like, what are you guys doing? And we're like, at this point, man, sleeping.
Oh my God.
So you want career mode for the music. You don't want to host them. At your home or any establishment.
That's why it's no longer in my basement. So,
Hey, we treat venues great.
Yeah. The venues, they're fine. Yeah. Just don't let them in your hotel.
And maybe some things get crazy, but there's people there buying your stuff. So I don't think they can complain that. I mean, we get crazy at the gig and they always want us back. So I guess we're doing something.
Yeah, it's rock and roll.
We sold the Turning Stone out of Utica Club more than once.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
So
I think they're happy with us.
Yeah.
So you guys love supporting local music scene, and you also talked about how you are doing a sweater show that gives back to a school. Do you want to talk about other things you're doing to contribute to the music community?
We're trying to grow the music scene. So our last show, we invited our friends' original band to open for us. We're kind of always looking for other people to kind of like jump in with us or somehow incorporate them to kind of help boost them maybe or give them exposure. And I don't think it's necessarily limited to like music scene or anything. Like, we're trying to promote like Utica or like our home any way that we can, whether there's music. We push Utica Club at all of our shows because we're very proud of, the hometown stuff. We're trying to figure out a way to do something with the skate community, like a fundraiser for that. Because we're super excited about the 2 new skate parks.
Yep.
I mean, they kind of hit our thing. There's the new park opening in Rome. So it's like we want a sense of community and we want to give back or pay it forward in the ways or all the things that we loved growing up with, which,
Nice.
for a lot of us was skateboarding, music, and other things in between. But
There's also, we haven't talked about this. We haven't announced it yet. But we are doing, for this show, we're doing a Utica Club Career Mode collab shirt.
Oh, cool.
Oh, nice.
One of the few times we've gotten permission to make sure it's using some other people's designs or art. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what does that look like?
We got Schultz and Dooley on it, but we have them done up kind of like emo.
Yeah.
So they kind of look like people, you ever go to Hot Topic and people have like the eyeliner and like the lip rings and like the dyed hair. So that's kind of like what emo people look like. So we have like Schultz and Dooley kind of made up like that.
I love that Kevin's now explaining to the old man. I mean, there's some things I know. There's some
I mean, you heard of Fall Boy, so.
Yeah.
I'm going to have Jenna educate him tonight.
My kids speak
we have
a different
13-year-old
language.
and a 17-year-old that can definitely bring him up to speed.
I want a
on all
shirt.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it says on it, what is it? UC is not a phase. Because like, I get teenagers yelling at their parents.
It's only a phase.
Mom.
Yeah.
Well, like that's the joke with UC. Is like UC's not a phase.
Yeah.
It's got
I
the
like
emo
it.
Schultz and Dooley.
Yeah. Perfect. We've got the Schultz and Dooley Steins. So,
yeah,
I mean,
he
it
collects
only
some
makes
of them.
sense to emo
Yeah.
them out on our shirt.
Yeah.
All right.
Gotta add that to the collection.
All right. So what are the long-term goals? Obviously, you guys are having a lot of fun. You're playing about a show a month, but long-term, what's the vision for this thing?
Just kind of bigger and better. We want to work with more bands, work with more people. We don't want to lose touch with like playing Utica, but it'd be cool to get back in Buffalo a little bit. We've been thinking about Albany, growing in Syracuse or Rochester, bigger casinos, bigger venues for some of our events. But at the same time, it's like we don't want to bite off more than we can chew. It's like we want to sustain like the fun aspects, keep the party element going.
Yeah. How hard is that to get new gigs in new cities, like where you're not known? Do you have like a press kit or a media kit? Like, how do you go about?
Talk to that guy.
We do have like an EPK that I made. My day job is I'm a freelance designer. So
Okay.
I handle all of the graphics for the band. That's
Cool.
me. I handle all that stuff. But I also have been like working in the music industry since I was like 16.
Okay.
So like 20 years. Oh, not less than 20 years. But
Sean's 46.
yeah, I am 50
We're gonna
years
fact
old.
check that.
No, I'm 34. But so that stuff, like how we got into Syracuse was because of this dude who opened a venue, runs a big promotion company, After Dark Presents out there. And he finally was like, well, they opened up this venue, the Song and Dance. And they were like, hey, would you want to play the opening? Like the grand opening for the venue.
Mhm.
We were like, yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
awesome. And I've known that dude used to book my old bands when I was a teenager. And he grew up in like Sackets. I grew up in Watertown, but he used to book shows in Watertown. So we go very far back. So that stuff's kind of helped where it's like I know people. And then obviously there's a value with this kind of stuff. Like I said, I know you're not familiar, but emo nights are like a big thing. There's like
I'm familiar now.
multiple companies do like touring emo nights that go throughout the entire country.
Okay.
So if you bring that live aspect to it, it only just kind of entices it.
Yeah.
And we've like we said, we've always tried to do different things. Like a month ago or 2 months ago now, we did a Day to Remember's Homesick front to back. We covered the whole album, which is like one of their biggest albums. And like, they put it out a million years ago and they only play a handful of songs off it, if that now, because it's been so long. And the band, is massive. They play like 6,000 cap amphitheaters now. When I saw them playing a record store in Clinton, New York.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
So yeah, it's crazy to see that stuff happen in real time. But so we do stuff like that too, and that stuff's enticing. It doesn't matter what the name of the band is. If you see someone, this band's covering a Day to Remember front to back, okay, I'm gonna go see that. It doesn't matter what band's playing. So that's why we always kind of preface this thing with emo night. In Utica, it's different. People know us in Utica. It's easy. People know us at the Turning Stone at this point. that stuff we can be like, oh, it's career mode. I'm going to go see career mode. But if it's these new places that we're not familiar in, you just go, hey, it's a live band emo night, or we add something else to
or whatever our shtick is, like, oh, it's a Star Wars party. And we kind of advertise like what the shtick is or like what to expect. And then it's like the band name. So like if you don't know who we are, you know what you're getting.
Right.
But you know, there's a lot of times like we knock on the door, we send emails out, and people are just like, no.
Yeah, sure.
Or, you know, it's
or they say yes.
No. See how that works? It's a no or a yes.
Yeah. And that's like, I always found that in like anything. Like the worst thing someone can say is no. And then you're at the same place you were at before. So who cares?
Are you interested in a career in sales? Because I need people to understand that concept. So many people, it's true though. So many people are just scared of no, right?
Yeah.
I am with other things, but when things that it doesn't matter, I hate rejection. I'm a human being.
Yeah, we all do.
Everyone hates rejection.
Core,
but it's something where it's like, I'm not going to lose anything by asking the question. I will ask it 100 times.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, it's how you, and a lot of the times it just works out for you. And you're like, cool. Then you're in the door.
Yeah. I mean, you just got to ask. It's wild. I mean, it's just as simple as it is. 3-letter word, ask. Right? I mean, like, because no one's going to offer you anything or give you anything if you don't ask.
No.
Right.
So that is the biggest thing. Like these things usually don't fall at your doorstep, but.
Well, this was a fast 30-something minutes. So we end all of these with our rapid fire 5 questions.
Oh,
okay. This will be like rapid fire 10 because we'll let you each answer. So you want to kick us off, Kel?
I will. What's one song you always have on repeat?
I guess like Ocean Avenue by Yellow Card.
I think Ocean Avenue's been on every single
every show.
Or it can even be a song that you like to listen to that the band doesn't play, that you personally like.
The entire Every Time I Died discography.
Right now, it's kind of controversial. And at first, I didn't like it when I first listened to it. But the new Linkin Park single is really catchy. Okay. And the more you listen to it, the kind of better it gets. And I know that's like, again, it's a controversial thing to say right now. At least in the music scene. Not in the... It's what I call...
What is controversial anymore? I feel like...
It doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, we've got... You know, I'm going to keep politics out of it, but we've got someone running for president that I mean, what's controversial? Like, I don't know. You can say anything and you can become president.
I've got one for you right now that's kind of controversial. Sean doesn't like pasta.
Okay.
It's a texture thing. I don't know.
Oh my God.
So our son Tyler would agree with you.
My son Tyler has issues with Texas.
Yeah, now listen,
if
you told me Sean didn't like pizza, we'd end this thing. Okay, all right. Pasta, I'm okay with.
It's like a weird texture thing. It's been ingrained in me since I was a kid. I don't know. Never liked it.
You don't have to defend yourself. I mean, Kevin's being a jerk, right?
My whole band is a jerk to me about it.
He's being mean to you. Bullying's controversial, all right? Let it go, man.
Canceled.
Yeah. Dang. All right, I'm going to fight with a bass player right now. What's one song
we got nothing to lose
that people always request that you really don't like playing?
Creed. It used to be
Creed.
Without hesitation.
It used to be Happy Birthday, but we rewrote it.
We wrote a Happy Birthday song.
Yeah. There you go.
Is it like metal?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's super heavy.
Do you swear?
No, we just
actually. I think Rob kind of freestyles, but he usually does swear,
Yeah, maybe he drops an F-bomb in there for emphasis.
He's making a special birthday. But I like playing Creed, but we did it like once. And then after that, there's this group of people that come to our shows and they'll just yell Creed after every song. And I went out to them at one show and I was like, yo, we're going to play this song. Shut up. Or I'm going to tell them we're not playing it. Your choice. Yeah. And then they shut up.
It's kind of like when people yell Freebird. It's like,
that's like,
you're so funny.
No one is yelling Freebird.
Then you're going to flip them off. You know, that's the move, right? You flip them off. There's your Freebird right there. Not that that's happened to me from a musician, but we've got a pact that when we go out to dinner, we won't
yell Freebird.
That's always a good rule.
Waitress, Freebird.
Yeah, we won't tell the server that it's our birthday if we're out for
when we first started dating many years ago.
So that is our pact. But now I feel like we should go to a career mode show around one of our birthdays and hear the birthday song.
Yes, you got it.
Yeah, especially if there's F-bombs.
You want to
My wife will love that.
hear the career mode birthday song.
It's really heavily influenced by Pantera. We'll just leave it at that.
Okay. Favorite venue to play in Central New York?
It's kind of a toss up between the Turning Stone or the Song and Dance.
Yeah,
for
same
me.
answer.
Okay.
I love playing the Turning Stone. It's just, but the Song and Dance is nice because I lived in Syracuse for like a decade. So Syracuse has like I still play in a band that's Syracuse based. So it has a really special place in my heart to me. So to be able to go and play there, this new venue that's super awesome and just like ran by people who get it.
Yeah, that's the big part of it
awesome.
is the people that at the Song and Dance are much closer to us in like their approach, expectations for music. So, like crowd surfing is cool there. Light moshing or even serious moshing is cool there, but we're still growing there. So as we grow, it gets like better and better. The Turning Stone is cool for different reasons. When you hit the cap in the gig, it's like 600 people.
Yeah.
When you got 600 people all singing and screaming along with you, you're like,
crazy.
Cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
No, that's why you do it.
The sound
Right?
is
I mean,
great.
it's-
The room is big.
Got a video wall.
Yeah,
video
that is a
wall.
great setup.
I always, when we play gig shows, I always make a nice video wall animation for behind us that has to do with whatever the show is, like if there's a theme to or whatever. And I always do a nice intro video, which is always really fun to
That's
come
awesome.
to come up with.
And and it gives a big performance feel, right? I mean, we've
sure.
stumbled in there a couple times. I don't even know who the band was, and I'm like, this looks like a legit operation.
It's a nice space.
Yeah,
It's a
nice
it's
space.
great.
Yeah.
So the video board is.
And now it's like we play there so many times. We show up, sound check is like they have all our stuff saved, so it's like we sound check and you're like, boom, we're done.
Yeah,
it's like our sound checks last like 5 minutes.
onto the
it's like,
onto the UC.
Yeah, they're like,
While you can get it, man.
The sushi and the pizza.
We talked about being creative. Here's a creative question for you. So if Career Mode were a movie, what would the title be?
oh,
6 dumb idiots playing some songs.
You have to shorten that.
6 dumb idiots playing some songs.
You
guys want to check that 6 Dumb Idiots movie out this weekend?
Maybe Skate or Cry.
Okay, I like that one better.
Yeah.
Let's just rename. We'll
Dumb
pretend
Idiots.
we're way cooler and just call it Inglorious Bastards.
Yeah.
We're not that cool, but I love that movie.
You got an answer, Sean?
Inglourious Basterds.
You're okay. All right. I
Yeah.
wasn't sure if that was the final answer.
All right. This is going to be hard. One word to describe your music style. One word.
Chaotic.
Like it?
I was gonna say energy.
Chaotic energy. We'll put the two together.
When we were younger, there was a band Chaos. Don't
Joe
you remember
Sweet.
that? Yeah, Joe Sweet.
The godfather of
Yeah.
our generation local Utica music scene.
Chaos, that's right.
Chaos. And he
Yep.
went to 9 Ball and 9 stories high. And Joe
Oh my God, we're old.
Mama and the Funk Daddies.
Wow, that name is up there with 6 dumb idiots.
Hopefully Joe's not listening.
And, no offense, but I mean, it's not. A lot of bands have really bad names.
Oh, no doubt.
And a lot of people are very forward about it. They're like, I never thought this band I formed when I was, a teenager would blow up. Do you think Green Day thought they were going to blow up?
Yeah.
With a name like Green Day?
Buffalo,
Probably
right?
not.
They're Buffalo band, Green Day.
I don't think so.
No?
I think you're thinking of
Collective Soul? Goo Goo Dolls. That's who it was. All right. There was a band from Buffalo. They probably stayed at La Quinta once upon a time before the toilets were clogged and there was numbers on there. So
They probably threw up in the shower too.
the show is at the brewery. It's at the beer garden. You heard it here first. They're going to move the picnic tables. There's going to be energy and chaos, and there's going to be 6 dumb idiots just playing some music. So the Saturday, September 21st. What time?
6:30.
6:30.
Our guitar player Rob will be spinning some tunes, DJing for
cool.
about half an hour, and then we'll play for
Nice.
3 hours. Still, very early show than what we usually play. So it's nice. I'm saying there's no excuse. It's free. It's all ages.
Yeah.
it's
Catering to
really
the
late.
old people. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can stay up till 9:30
I can make it till 9:30. I'd be
without
okay with that.
beefing.
Yeah, it's funny. It's such a argument
gonna use
trying to
it now.
convince somebody. It's like, oh, the show starts at 9. Ooh, too late. It starts at 8. Oh, okay, I can be there.
I'm going to use beefing because
My kids are gonna hate you.
Yeah,
I'm just
because
telling
my
you right
kids
now,
they give
like-
me like the cringy looks, right? Dad, yeah. When I start using the words they use, they're like, my daughter 12. She'll go, ew, no.
I don't think anyone uses beefing. I think I only said it because you said it. But
Well, now
let's bring it
Scott's
back.
going to
right?
use it
I'm bringing it
all
back.
the time. All the
Let's
time.
make it a thing.
Yeah,
Well, guys, this was a lot of fun. If you want to give one last plug with the socials and how people connect with you.
yeah. We're Career Mode. You can find us at Career Mode 315 on Instagram or Facebook. That's the best place to stay up to date with our shows, merch, and any of the goofy shorts that we make. We'll see you guys September 21st at Beer Garden.
Awesome.
Rock on. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Love Living Local. As you know, we do not run ads. Our only mission is to shine a spotlight on amazing people doing amazing things here in our local community. If you'd like to support us with this mission, we have 3 ways you can help. You can share our content on social, subscribe or follow the show on your favorite podcast platform, and you can visit our lovelivinglocal315.com website to stay up to date with everything happening in Central New York.